So at the end of my last video, you'd seen the windbreak that my brother and I were making to stop the wind coming up the hill, so you had a nice sheltered place to pitch a tent or a bivvy bag or whatever. Well, the night after I came up and you saw me with some clips of with Michael having some food and what have you, and I'd put my tarp up, we bumped into a group of youths that night who were in the woods and came over to see what we were doing. Now, I had a bit of conversation with them and they seemed interested in what I'd done and where I wanted to take the camp from then on. So I half expected it to be wrecked when I came back. Now, I came yesterday for a bit of a walk and just to pass through and to see what was happening. Now, everything, not only is everything still up, the youngsters have extra braced some of the stuff, and then to my surprise, not only have they sort of improved and built on the windbreak, they've actually made a full-on shelter there. I was so impressed with them yesterday. Like, one of the guys was here with his girlfriend, I'm assuming, and they were telling me what they'd done and how long it had taken them to do it. Well, I'm absolutely chuffed to bits that not only has it been respected and taken care of, you can see it's pretty much in the condition that I left it, bar a few pieces of what I'm assuming is their firewood. They've really gone to town and built this up. Now, I mean, it's not perfect by any stretch of imagination, but the fact that they've not ruined it and put the effort into improving it, I'm totally chuffed. I did share some pictures of it yesterday, so for those of you that don't follow my Google Plus or are not on the Great British Bushcraft group on Facebook, this will be your first look at what they've done. So what I'm going to do is hopefully catch them here today, have a bit of a chat with them later on, if they're around. I've put together a little fire kit for them. And there's a couple of other people commented on the Bushcraft group on Facebook, saying that they would quite readily hand over a couple of things to get them started if they were interested in this kind of thing. So I'm going to pass on a little bit of knowledge and sort of help them discover a few things, see how we get on, see if they stick at it, and go from there, because I might have some helpers and then friends in the area that want to wild camp and do some stuff with somebody else. So again, I'm totally chuffed. Now, to find it all in one bit, I mean, I left bottles of water there for people to put the fire out and what have you. I did leave a bag to put rubbish in, which they've taken away and brought their own bag and put some rubbish in that. So I'm almost speechless. The fact that the group of people that I thought were almost certainly going to ruin it for me have done this. Like, they've respected it, they haven't taken anything down, they've improved some of it. I'm again completely lost for words, so thank you guys. I met one of them yesterday. His name is Andy, so thank you, Andy. And unfortunately I didn't catch the girl's name. I said hopefully I'll bump into them, and if they're okay with it, I'll video and we can have a chat. But yeah, chuffed to bits. So with there being a long support there, along, well, I suppose you could call it a ridge line or a top bar, whatever, but there's nothing supporting it. So found a big log with a big Y on the end. Now I've cut it to size, gonna get a point on it, bang it into the floor in the middle where you can see the little bit of scuffed up dirt there, up to the bar to hold it up, and then we should be able to get a nice thick canopy on the top, finish building up the walls, and we'll go from there. 10 minutes chopping later, we have a point. Now to get it up there. Here's a view from the other side of the shelter, and you can't see the fire. I'd assume obviously you could if it was dark, but it does just look like a bush, to be honest. So they've done a reasonable good job, although they have taken a couple of live trees which I need to talk to them about. I prefer they didn't, considering there's a lot of dead standing in here. I will have to point that out. Other than that, yeah, good job.
Look at Daddy's camera.
So yesterday I came up and I met up with the young lad and lass that have been making improvements. So like I said, we've got the shelter. Spent a couple of hours with them yesterday. We put another wall in, and then they've put another one in, which needs work. But then I got here today and they've made a big leaf barrier there as well.
Hi,
so Lexi. So yeah, there's a path up there, so you're a little bit sheltered from view. So let me just come back a bit and you can see it. Needs a little bit more extra height there, but so there's one little entrance there, and then eventually that will be closed off there as well. Said this windbreak needs a little bit of work, but I was really chuffed with the shelter. Though I did get here and they'd had a fire down there, so the nippers scattered the ashes and what have you, moved the bricks, and we've covered it up a little bit, even though there's a fire pit there. So I'll be having words because I'm really not impressed with that. But other than that, we put in this big brace yesterday to support the top beam there. So it's just a case of keeping at it now. There's a load of rubbish here that they've left as well from last night. I don't know whether they were intending to pick that up today, because they usually come here every day. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. This is the view from about, I don't know, a quarter away to the path. So I mean, you can see the barrier, but I just spin around. The path is 15 yards or so behind the trees you can see at the back there. So you've all that way down to there, so it's reasonably well hidden. I mean, you can see the nipper stood up over there with the little one, but when he sat down on the benches and what have you, he won't be able to be seen. So I did manage to get over here for a wild camp at the weekend. I didn't really get any recording done because the guy I stayed there with doesn't really like being on camera. I got a tiny little bit of footage towards the end of the night, which I'll play for you in a sec. Right now I'm just going to show you some of the pictures leading up to the noises. When you do hear them, it would be great if anybody could help me ID them, because I'm totally confused as to what it was. So I'll leave you with this and catch you in a sec. So hopefully it does it again, but I think there's a, oh, there we go. I think that's a deer. I'm not 100% sure. I don't think it's a fox, but there's some sort of call going on. I've had two different ones. One I think was a baby fox, and one that I think is a deer actually. I'm not 100% sure. I'll have to play back the video. Maybe if the phone picks it up, fingers crossed it does, you guys can have a listen near the beginning of this clip. So just skip back to the beginning of this clip. Then we go again. And again. Yeah, hopefully this picks it up. I don't know what the sound's like on this, really. Haven't really tested it with anything like that. We'll play it back. If anybody can ID it for me, would be great. It's not going to be a dog at this time. It's almost like a dog yelping, I guess, which is or dog barking, which I believe is what a deer sounds like when it's calling. And then we heard some really high-pitched squealing, which I believe was a fox as well. So it's nice to be out at the camp and hearing some animals, some wildlife. As long as they let us sleep, we'll be alright. So I'll set the phone off recording again, because whatever's making the noise, it's really bloody close now. The phone must definitely pick that up. There's definitely a baby fox around. And I'm not even sure if that's a deer or it could be mummy fox that's looking for the little one. But it's really bloody loud now. Yeah, there's the steps over to the left and that over to the right. That's coming really close. That's Mike trying to call them. I'm devastated if a big fox runs through the middle of the camp. I think I might need to go get my axe. But no, listening to, I mean, it's way after midnight, if not coming on close to 1 o'clock now. And it's come alive with all the nocturnal animals. Brilliant to hear. Quite unnerving when you're not used to it. I mean, this is only my second ever wild camp, so I'm just getting used to it. I mean, the first time round I was so drunk I didn't even really know what was going on. Now, while I'm quite alert and aware of what's going on, listening to the noises is brilliant. Unnerving, but brilliant. I mean, the fire's not really bright enough to illuminate anything. I mean, I've just turned away from the fire towards the exit to the camp, so I have an exit back there, and then this is the fire. Again, look, you can't even see the tents, and there's like a 8-foot gap maybe. And then if I just lift you up above the fire reflector there, there's an entrance there, which is maybe, again, 8 foot behind the fire reflector. Oop, pardon me. Too many beers. And yeah, so you can't really see anything but the immediate surrounding. You can't even see the bench there. Like, it's not picking it up on the camera. Look, I think we'll just catch a reflection from Mike's tinny there, look. We have a floating tinny. But yeah, I mean, this is the bench I'm sat on and you can't even see that. So the sit and chill out, enjoy the fire a little bit more than get his heads down, I think. So this is the morning after the impromptu wild camp. It's absolutely glorious. It's probably about 10 AM now, so we've packed everything up. Mike and his nipper have gone off, so we're going to go home and clean up.
Get a bit of sleep.
Yeah, maybe get a bit of sleep. But absolutely glorious this morning. Have a bit of arty-farty sun flare. Oh, been a good night, I enjoyed it. Wasn't as scary as I thought it would be in the woods near the housing estate, to be honest. Didn't get interrupted. As you could hear earlier, there was some pretty strange noises last night. Hopefully one of you guys can ID it for me. But
I think it could have been a deer.
A deer or a fox. Either way,
I've
enjoyed it. We made use of the camp. Hopefully we can get another couple of sleep outs there before it gets ruined. But we'll go from there. I'll talk to you guys in a bit. Okay, so it's been a little over 2 weeks now since we started the shelter and the camp. So sorry, the camp rather than the shelter, but a couple of hours here, a couple of hours there. That still needs to be a little bit improved there. We could do with adding a few more branches to that, and maybe there. But as always, I mean, the bench came down, we've had to refix that. I've had to prop up the fire reflector a little bit. I need to empty the fire pit as well. This bench we did it back too, but I think some of the people that's been here maybe took some of the supports for the fire because they're lazy. Even though I brought half a tree there to be cut up to be burnt. But yeah, I mean, the wall's probably about the right height. We did camp out here the other night, had a good time. We've got some tarp for the top of the shelter, make it a bit more waterproof. But yeah, I'm surprised it's all still here. We might get another camp out of it. Maybe we'll see if one of you guys want to come and camp out here. We'll have a bit of a meet with a couple of us. And then yeah, we'll take it all down and go somewhere else and build something different. Oh, covering bloody green flies. Yeah, I've really enjoyed this project. I mean, I've got to spend time with the kids and time out here, just away from everything really. I can't complain at the amount of time I've been able to spend here over the last couple of weeks. Just, if some of you guys want to come and enjoy it with me, why not? Have a meet up here and then we'll be done. I'll see you guys in a bit. Well, that brings us to the end of this video. I turned up at the camp yesterday and found this message. Hey, great job from neighbours. So I have no idea if there's somebody else in the woods making a camp. I intend to go out there and check it out today. If I do find anything, I'll make sure to document it and I'll have pictures and maybe some video footage for the next video. As it stands now, the camp, I'm reasonably happy with where it's at. It could do with a few touch-ups here and there. There's not really an awful lot more I can add to it. So I'm gonna get another camp out there, maybe with some of you guys if you want to come over before I tear it down. We'll have a camp out, have a meet up, have a natter and some food and maybe some beers, just chill out. Well, for now, I've decided to coin myself a little phrase. So I'm going to wish everybody clear skies, sharp knives, and peace out.